Sergey Brin and Larry Page created Google in the way that really has inspired all of the sort of Silicon Valley mythology, right? Two kids, Montessori trained, out of a garage in California. I remember, way back when people talking about, hey, we should all be using this new thing called Google. It's really amazing, as compared to the other search engines that were out there at the time. I mean, it really took off in this fundamental way, and it was an incredible roller coaster, right? It made them not only billions as they pioneered the use of search and our behavior on the internet to drive the placement and articulation of ads, but it also, gave rise to this idea that these sort of, motivated, enlightened billionaires were going to then spend all this extra money that they had made on interesting projects. And so the company expanded to not only things like YouTube and the rest of it, but also, these whole categories of other bets, right? Self-driving cars and all sorts of diagnostic tools and quantum computing. I mean, this was a fun place to work. But of course, as it got more serious, it needed some adult leadership, right? And both of these guys sort of stepped back. At first, they gave Eric Schmidt the chief role, and he was supposed to be sort of the adult in the room. And then along came Sundar Pichai, who rose as an engineer up through the ranks. Not only did he create the Google Toolbar and Google Chrome, he was part of the teams that created those things. He also wound up running things like Android. I mean, he was just an incredibly hard-working engineer, the kind of classic Google guy. Well, now he has been handed the whole show. And those two guys who started in their garage are stepping away. And so, on the one hand, I would say it's not going to be as much fun running this place as it used to be, right? It's now running not just Google, but Alphabet, this holding company, the big bucket into which all these other companies have been put. I mean, if you think about the typical day this guy is going to have, right? He's going to have people coming to him from YouTube about problems, with extremist content or, new regulatory attention on there. He's going to have people coming to him from the search business and ads business, which is, getting worse and worse, harder and harder, and that's the bulk of the moneymaker. The hardware business, which is not going very well. The cloud computing business, which, Google occupies a distant third behind Microsoft and Amazon. He could have those kinds of meetings before lunch. This will not be a really fun job in the way I think it was back when Sergey and Larry ran it. On the other hand, this is what it is to mature a company. This company is now 21 years old, right? In the words of the letter that announced Pichai's elevation, it's a young adult, right, that had to sort of step out into the world. And so now, as we're seeing not just all the business challenges, but also cultural challenges and employee challenges, controversy around possible labor organizing inside the company, all sorts of controversy around its work with the military, its work with China. You're seeing the employees step up and get angry in a vocal and public way that they never have before. The world is changing. I mean, this is what some have called the time of the wartime CEO, right? What it is to be a wartime CEO. That sort of seems to be what Pichai is in for here. And Sergey and Larry, what will they go do right now? Those two guys, have billions of dollars. Larry especially has never talked to the press he hasn't talked to the press in years. And so these are some of the most secretive billionaires in the world, and they're going to go off and do who knows what. Meanwhile, Pichai is going to have to run the company that they started out of this garage as a real adult company in an increasingly challenging world. It is truly the end of an era for Google and the beginning of a new one.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.